Alright. Sorry about that. Game audio doesn't capture unless the screen's selected. Oh, and I can't see my chat overlay because it's full screen. Hmm. I wonder if that'll be a problem. Hold on, let me try relaunching this as windowed and see if I can get the best of both worlds. That way I can actually hear or at least see your questions and requests. So for anyone that doesn't know yet, this is a slightly modified but otherwise pretty faithful porting of the Battletech board game from back in the 80s, and I guess revived in the 2000s when the new company got their hands on it. And is OBS capturing the video? Give me a minute. Ah, that is just horrible. Because I assume you guys can't see anything either. Nope. Shit. It was taking me a really long time just to try to get this working because, yeah, there we go. Um, like I had to get the resolution just right, and then I was using any kind of compatibility settings that I could find. But let's see here. Where's my phone? So anyway, a somewhat faithful kind of PC versioning of the thingamajigger. Classic board, like tabletop board game. Let me go to my channel. Alright, I got chat open on my phone. How loud is the game audio coming through for you guys? It was feeling just a little loud in my ears, so I wanted to double check. Alright then. So, at present, the only thing that they have delivered as part of the backer beta is the single-player skirmish mode versus AI. They have not released 1v1 multiplayer yet, nor have they released the mech lab where you can customize your individual mechs and everything. They also haven't released the settings button, so, that's all DLC. So this is a beta in every strictest sense of the word, so do expect some bugs and glitchiness here and there. So the way they've got this set up currently is you can choose from 3 different budgets for how big and how expensive your lance of up to 4 mechs can be. 15 million C-bills is fairly small, then you have 20 and 25. At 25 you start to get to use the bigger mechs, some of the showpieces that you guys might recognize, like the Atlas. Classic, iconic mechs. For right now, we'll do a little battle kind of in the 20 million range. I think Paradox is just the publisher. Harebrained Schemes developed it, but if you're saying that, oh, yeah, DLC, I get it. Alright, so we can customize our individual lances and the mech warriors that are assigned to them who have some important stats. For ease of getting players into this, they have all these different presets. So at 20 million, you can play around with the medium presets that are designed for that cash value. The light lances are set up for more for the 15. So for this here, uh, Trebuchet, Hunchback, Orion, and an Urban Mech. Sure, what the hell. Alright, so here's how this works. Each of these mechs is worth, like the Urban Mech here is worth 2.1 million C-bills, 4.6 for the Hunchback, and so on. That all adds up to my total down here, and you play within the parameters. You can click on each mech. I like to sort by tonnage because that's how I used to have everything sorted back when I was playing this on tabletop. And you can go and look at the various mechs, buy them, swap them out, but you can't customize them yet. Some of them have multiple variants, but others there's just one setup and that's what you work with. The only downside to this display so far is that they haven't enabled like a weapon, list here. Instead, you have to kind of look through the hit points, the hit locations, which, if you have never played Battletech before, whenever you shoot at someone, you are basically, it's random hit locations where on the mech that you hit. So you've got the left arm, left torso, center torso, right arm, head, and both legs. And if you're shooting at them from the rear, instead of hitting these front three torso sections, you'd be hitting the rear three torso sections. When I mouse over it, you can see I've got in the white 20 armor out of 20, and then I have 35 internal structure. When all the armor gets slagged and shot off, then the enemy starts doing damage to the internal structure. If the internal structure goes away, then that whole section is destroyed, and if it's a torso section, the connecting arm is also destroyed because it all just falls off. When you're shooting at when you're landing hits on internal structures on mechs, you have a chance to crit, where you can damage a component that's in there, which is what this little scroll list on below the loadout indicates. So if someone has broken my center torso armor and they land a crit in there on the internal structure, they're going to take out one of these jump jets. Or if it's the right arm, it might take out my AC-10, my autocannon 10. So I have to look through here to see what the weapon loadout is. So he has one AC-10 autocannon and a small laser and some ammo for the autocannon, and that's it. Urban Mech is nothing fancy. These are, I don't know, kind of arbitrary bars to help people realize what mechs can do kind of at a glance. Now, with pilots, there used to be only two stats that you really cared about back on the tabletop game, which was gunnery and piloting. The gunnery would affect how easy it is for you to land ranged attacks, which is a lot of what this game is. Piloting is how well you could keep the mech on its feet, even while taking a lot of damage and at risk of being knocked over, or running too fast through certain areas like terrain features like rivers and getting knocked over, and just generally how well you handle your mech. They've added two new ones for this, and I actually need to double check what Guts does. But Tactics, it determines their mechs in this version are able to see beyond whatever. There's very limited line of sight, and there's fog of war everywhere. Tactics controls how, like, kind of your vision, as well as how much data you get about the radar blips when a mech kind of gets within sensor range of you. whether it's just this is a mech, or this is a medium class mech, or this is a 45-ton mech. Yeah, and each pilot in this for the beta has one special ability kind of assigned to them that's unique to them. So, for example, this pilot Sumo, who's attached to the urban mech, uh, when attacking with a single weapon, he could ignore cover and a guarded status on the target. So, if he snipes with one thing, he can do it a lot better than most other people could. The other things that we got here is Ozone. Mm, if he doesn't move, he'll gain guarded, uh, and that is a 50% damage reduction for any incoming fire. Does not make him any harder to hit, just makes him shrug off some of the damage. So he wants to get into one place, stand there, and just open up. Wildfire here, her ability is she can split her shots between 3 different targets with no penalties, as far as I can tell. And then this gal here, Arclight, her ability is Master Tactician. Oh, that's what Tactics also helps with. It lets her. There we go. Gives her +1 initiative, which there are 5 different initiative phases in this game that mechs will operate in, and I'll kind of get into that right now. I'm going to give this guy a random and see what happens. Normally, the weight class of your mech will affect how soon in turn order that it can activate. So light mechs will get the chance to activate before mediums, medium before heavy, heavy before assault. So someone with that Master Tactician gets to move one phase sooner than the chassis would normally allow. So this is what it looks like right now. We can mess around with the camera a little bit, or a lot bit, and I think you can gimbal it. Yeah, there you go. So, some of you might recognize these designs from MechWarrior Online. They're working with Paradox, who are the publishers of MWO, I believe, and so they were actually able to share some of the art assets, which is, I think, really helped speed up development of this game. So, our entire goal is to destroy the enemy lance to a man. That's how most Battletech games on the tabletop would work. What they've done with this is, in the opening turns, you know where their starting point is, but you don't know where they are exactly. You also don't know exactly what they have if you randomized it like I did. So, all of your mechs get to move, and then all of their mechs get to move. And if either of you have sighted each other, like gotten line of sight, or seen a radar blip, then it goes into initiative mode. But until then, you just keep moving. This lets you, on larger maps, get more movement in, set up ambushes, hide people behind rock formations, maybe, that kind of thing. Get into advantageous positions. You can either click on the pilot, or you can click on the mech directly to select it. The only way to deselect things right now is the escape key, which bugs me to no end, but it's what I've got to deal with. Because the right mouse button just brings up the detail of whatever mech you clicked on up top, which is useful for some things, but otherwise, I would so much rather just right click out of a menu than hit escape every time. Um, when you've got your mech selected, you can either choose to just stand there and attack, or you can choose to move, which lets you move and attack, and you only get to go so far. At the end of your move, depending on how far you went, you will have less ability to rotate, but you can determine which direction your mech is facing. This is important because you have to be able to face your targets, and if people get behind you, your rear armor is always weaker than your front. You could also choose to sprint, which will let you go a lot further, to a degree. This is a medium mech, so he's fairly slow to begin with. But the downside with sprint is you do not get to shoot. In exchange, you will get a status called evasive, where you have a 50% chance to dodge any incoming shot, which is pretty good. And then the other option is you can go in reverse. So it's the same as a move, but you're walking backwards. And sometimes this is useful just because, running forwards, it takes having to turn around into account for how far you can move. So reverse helps with that somewhat. And then if this mech had jump jets, which I'm not sure any of these do, then they would be able to jump to a location and choose their facing. So, being as how everything is pretty much a freebie, where we know we're not going to get shot, we might as well sprint so that we all end. The evasive status stays with that mech until they activate next. So you don't have to be worried a whole hell of a lot when it comes to... Sorry about that. Mind trailing off while I was trying to think what to do with this urban mech. So it's not like they clear at the end of the turn and high initiative mechs will be able to get shots at you. It means that even your last mech to move in the turn will still benefit from it all throughout the next. This trebuchet is a mix of some long-range missiles, LRMs, 15 just denotes how many missiles it shoots at a time, and medium lasers, which is really two vastly separate range bands. So I'm going to park this guy up on the hill so that he'll get a height advantage, but also be able to just rain the LRM fire across the river, and once they start getting onto my side, switch more over to medium lasers. And I'll have the Orion go over here. This is my heaviest mech, so I'm going to trust one flank to just him. Or her, depending on how you look at mech. Alright, so once he came within range of someone with a high enough tactics, it went from just light mech to the specific tonnage, which will give you an idea once you learn what all is in the game, what to kind of predict. Like a 25 ton, I think that's either the urban mech or the locust. Irby, how much do you weigh? Doesn't tell me. Well, that sucks. But anyway, now that we've made contact, we move on to everything from here on is going to be initiative phase based. So, I think the randomizer gave him a light lance as opposed to a medium one. So, in initiative bracket 4, all the light mechs get to activate. 3 is mediums, and 2 is heavies, and 3 could be like mediums and some heavies, and then you have like heavies and some in all assaults in 2. Not a lot of things use 1 that I've seen yet, but I'm sure that's something they might be working towards integrating. This is not a feature-complete game by any means. So, I have one light mech that activates at 4, which is this urban mech here. And I can either choose to use him, or I can reserve him, which moves him down, which should move any of my unactivated mechs down an initiative level, which could be important if I'm waiting for the enemy to come to me and I don't want to waste a turn, which I'm actually kind of happy waiting for this dude right now. And... Okay, so we got a couple of lights ringing the doorbell. The Jenner is... Okay, this version... Yeah, it's the standard laser boat, so on his arms, which are fairly weak armor, he's got some medium lasers on either side, and he has like an SRM-4 in the chest. Yep. And the Commando has some medium lasers and some short-range missiles. That's what SRMs are. as opposed to like the long-range missiles that my trebuchet has. So all the rest of my guys are in 3, and normally Arclight would be going in 2, but because she has that Master Tactician, she moves in the medium mech range. So I don't have anyone that can sensor lock that. If you move, then you are getting a you are making it more difficult for the enemies to hit you. So it's a fairly good modifier for you to do. And me standing in cover will reduce the amount of incoming damage by 25%. So that's useful. Alright, and now I have the option to shoot. So the Jenner, you can see the long-range missiles, it actually has a massive minimum range, so shooting it at this range is completely ludicrous. Also because, however many, this is a game about heat management. Everything the mech does generates heat. It does have built-in heat sinks that reduce its heat level by a certain amount each turn, but firing weapons is a huge way to build up heat. And you'll see what I'm going from nothing to halfway up my bar. Once I go above this line, I'm overheating enough that components are starting to melt and break down on the inside. And if I fill this bar all the way, the mech emergency shuts down in order to save itself. It's a system override. And it sits there completely inert, and it won't power up until the next turn, but its heat will be completely reduced. So, I can also shoot at you, or I could shoot at that Jenner, which is further away. And so, right now this medium laser, the weapon accuracy makes it easier to hit with, the target moved, and the target's a smaller size mech, so that's what makes this only a 65% chance to hit. That is an acceptable amount of heat, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we're firing 2 medium lasers, my autocannon, and my short-range missiles. But he dodged a lot of them. And so most of what landed hit the center torso, I think. I think I missed everywhere else. Yeah, so again, random hit locations. And so when you move, you can only move on these dotted grids. When you get someplace, you'll see exactly whom you will have vision to, or sometimes you will have a dotted white line. It means they will have line of sight to you, but you don't have enough movement to rotate to face and shoot them. But we're going to bring the Irby up here, little walking trash can. He's so cute. He's widely considered to be the most useless mech in the setting. So, 95%, 70%. I like 95. He dodged. Boo. 50-50 beats 95 every day. What are we doing here? Alright, so this Hunchback is a bruiser of a medium mech. This autocannon 20 is his major weapon, and it's actually this giant box on his shoulder. It does 100 damage on one location, which is awesome, because that means it's great at punching through big blocks of armor. I think, and we can also kind of pre-check what the to-hit modifiers look like from a particular spot. So, because I'd be aiming through the woods, line of sight is a little blocked, it's 10% less than if I was aiming from here. But I like to reduce incoming damage for next turn, so we're going to take that trade-off. Though I'm not sure I still want to shoot at that Jenner, because I could just as happily land a target on his Hunchback, who has the same weapon configuration I do, and he's actually the biggest threat. I'm pretty happy with all this. Fire away. No! Oh no, I got the leg. Or did he dodge? He dodged everything. Son of a bitch. Alright, now my last one to move is the Trebuchet, who can split their fire. So I could designate up to 3 targets, like A, B, and C, and then cycle A, B, C to who I'm going to shoot with what. So, but this trebuchet gets super freaking hot. It does not have a gentle heat curve at all. I'm kind of thinking I'm just gonna keep lighting up that hunchback. Because and you can see here, because I'm shooting from the front, the areas that I will have the chance to hit will be pretty much everything. If you attack someone from the side, then you will only hit stuff on that side. You won't hit that torso, that leg, or the opposing arm. So that's nifty, and it's a good way to concentrate your fire. Because the only ways to destroy a mech fully are either destroy the center torso or destroy the head. And the head is a very hard target to hit. It's, I think, just like on a 2d6, it's a 12. At least that's how it used to be in the tabletop. Ah, now let's talk about that little bar there. That, fine, you go ahead, go first. I can wait. See, he got behind me and he's shooting from the rear arc, which hit my center torso, got rid of all the rear armor in that compartment, and started doing internal structure damage. That's bad. I kind of need to stop that commando from doing the same, otherwise I could lose this guy a lot sooner than I'm willing to. But the only guy I have that can act is the urban mech. That Jenner still has evasive because I think that pilot has a skill that at the end of its move, no matter what it does, it gets evasive, which is super annoying because I don't have anything to counter that. There are options for that. A special ability called Sensor Lock, where you strip them of their evasion and of any movement modifiers that they have to hit. For example, this unit has +2 defense from moving a short distance, so a Sensor Lock gets rid of both of those, and then you can just light it up. It's great. So, we didn't talk about that yellow bar yet. That's the stability meter. The more you shoot a target or hit a target with physical kinetic damage, so autocannons, missiles, or to a certain extent, there's a particular energy weapon that will, like the PPC, or even melee attacks, will build that bar up. If you can fill it all the way, then the mech will get knocked over, which means that it is now an easier target to hit. You can call shots, which will give you an increased chance to hit the section you're targeting. And it makes them waste movement getting up next turn. So, if I can knock this guy down, then it would behoove me to do so. But that's not going to happen yet. I probably should have held his action because I didn't have much in the way of real good options available. That's fine. Because the only thing I have in my left arm is the small laser. Ooh, that's starting to hurt. Alright, now it's pretty much me and then that hunchback. Although the hunchback lost his evasive, so I wonder if I'm anywhere near as accurate as I thought I was. I want you to make with the shooting. And we're going to split fire up and see what it looks like. Alright, so the LRM set the big guy hit on a 95% chance, which is awesome. We're going to do that. I can also hit the Jenner on 95 for that one. Oh, I haven't specified. But look at that! The heat builds up so fast in this guy. So, we're gonna turn off that medium laser, so I'm firing two at each. See how she goes. Oh, yeah. Drop. And whenever you hit the head, there's usually a chance that you can injure the pilot. So if you get enough, if you injure the pilot, he also gets injured when they get knocked down. If you injure the pilot enough, you kill them, and the mech is out of action. Okay, so all he did... Ah, alright. So his pilot must give him the option... Damn it, I like that right arm. That made him useful at all. His pilot, if he doesn't move, much like my Orion, no, much like my Hunchback, I think, gives him the guarded status, which reduces incoming damage by 50. Then what's that? Entrenched. Huh. Stability damage reduction, which makes sense. Good on you. So what do we do now? Yeah, because you get guarded when you're stationary. How's your to hit on the Jenner? Not in arc. But that guy is still the biggest threat. And I do like being stationary with him. Whoa, 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 go back. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna shoot at him. He's got the biggest guns. Perfect. So what did we do functionally? Yes, that is the torso we want to take apart, because that's got his big gun on it. So we want to try to keep hitting him from the right. But I don't think I have a whole lot of options for that. So you're the last one to go. So you'll see the red dash will indicate what side of the mech I'm shooting from. So if I shoot from here, it'll only hit that left side. Do I want to ignore that, Jenner? I do a little. Alright, let's see what we can do, and if this is a bad idea, or if I just should have backed out a little. Because we are going to try to ruin your day. I'm feeling not that gratuitous. Though, if you stand in water, it actually does increase the amount of heat that you can ablate for the next turn. So I might be able to get away with being really stupid with my heat curve, but not for 40%.
Okay, I'm on it.
Ooh, another head hit. That pilot might only be one injury away from death. Yep, and he's gonna go right behind me and try to knock out that center torso. Fuck!
We lost the unit.
Yes, I noticed.
Right here.
And, oh, the urban mech has jump jets. But he can't get close enough to melee with them. That's okay. You go there, buddy.
I'm on it.
So, the only weapon he's got left is a light laser. Or a small laser. Which I think ignores a lot of cover and other stuff like that. I don't know, how about you? Oh, and also precision strike. That would do it. Oh, I'm in a bad way. Okay. Yeah, the urban mech has no weapons.
Portal down. Oh, I took one in the gut.
You know, I'm kind of okay with that because he wasn't going to be an important contributing factor to anything anymore anyway.
Order.
Uh,
Ready, sir.
so
Confirm.
what can we hit with you? Oh, so because that Jenner's so close, I don't have direct line of sight to it. But because someone else does, I'm able to fire indirectly. But with it's already inside minimum range, and it's an indirect fire penalty. It's not worth my time. Uh, the commando I could maybe chew up. I'm really interested in finishing that guy off, and I'm gonna take a little damage myself for doing it too. But I need that torso gone.
All right. My heat gauge is getting pretty high.
Mm. All right, that wasn't
Is Meyer, Commander.
too bad.
Yep.
Oh, he must have missed with that autocannon. Lucky me. Alright, this guy likes to stay put. So, you see here, I'd only be hitting the left side of that Jenner. But it would be, if that lands, it'd be a hell of a hit. There's that butthole. We gotta make it happen.
I'm on him.
Not the location I would have hoped for. And so now he gets to move with just about everybody. Ooh, was that enough to knock me over?
Panel damage.
Not quite, but one more will do it. You know what I said about one more? Oh, no. Okay, it only built there. For a moment, I thought I saw the bar fall.
Order.
These yellow boxes mean that I could go and melee attack them. Uh, and shoot one of their small categories of weapons, like small lasers, flamers, and machine guns, that you also get to shoot as part of the melee action. But the big guns you cannot. Not sure what to do with this. I'm gonna stick with the damage reduction, I think, and keep trying to knock this guy down.
Copy that.
Ooh, that's just the arm, not the torso. Damn it! When will that pilot die?
Watch my heat.
Ooh, that's gonna hurt. It missed. Maybe.
Reporting. Serious armor loss.
Yes, you do have really serious armor loss. I wonder if I reverse you. Oh, you can't. But if I do that, 65. But I'm only gonna shoot one anyway. If I stand here... 85. And I reduce my heat a little. Nope. I'm gonna play it a little safe. This guy's really banged up.
Engaging target.
Not enough. Huh. Because using jump jets also increases your heat more than just regular movement. Or even standing still. Oh, that's gonna suck. But it's also the first he's hit my rear armor. Or, you know, what there was of it.
Confirmed.
Ooh, we can back up against the hill there. That'll keep the rear armor safe. Yeah, thanks, Wes. Yeah, hope you enjoy what you see from my failings. Alright, we're gonna turn the lasers off and just yeah, fire the big boy. Hope we knock him down. There we go.
My heat gauge is getting pretty high.
And the pilot should get another injury. Fuck. I don't know, man. Apparently pilot kills through injuries are just too damn hard. Here comes the short-range pain. Huh. Got really lucky with that.
Waiting for orders, Jay. Are you streaming?
Yes. What would that look like? Hundreds on the lasers? Why not? Live dangerous. I think because if I don't kill him, we're about to lose hands down anyway. Which is also terrible, but fuck you, I'm a boss. Oh no. Oh, another head hit. Yeah, I'm not feeling that the pilot injuries is doing a whole lot.
I'm losing armor left and right.
Ah, that hunchback's about to get knocked down though. This guy has enough short-range missiles to do the job.
I'm losing armor bad.
So, the long-range missiles, LRMs, it fires X missiles based on the designation. So, like, this guy has LRM 15s. It fires 15 missiles. However, in the tabletop, they would do damage. You would roll for hit locations in groups of 5 missiles, depending on how many actually hit. Because there's always a chance that a portion of the missiles would miss. The short-range missiles, like that the commando over here has, they do more damage than the long range missiles, but they are pretty much point blank. But you also roll to see how many missiles hit or how many miss, and then each individual missile would would hit a random location. So it spreads the damage out a little bit more, which means SRMs very commonly got used for trying to shoot at sides of mechs that were already down to internal structure, so you could have a higher chance of getting to roll for a crit.
Yep.
I need you to stand up. And ruin anybody's day. $50. Eh. Wait. 55, 45. Oof. Everything here is terrible. But we're rolling the dice. Okay, he had a medium laser on that arm. That's not a huge loss for him at all. That is actually pretty terrible for me. I'm getting really lucky that his autocannon keeps missing.
Yes, Commander.
Alright, you. Just if. What would that look like? Hundreds. And it'll push me back into the red. But if I reverse, what's that look like? 40s. Ooh. Oh. Screw it. Let's make a really bad decision, shall we? Ugh. This is just no bueno. You know, we're gonna back up and lob some missiles. Because if we're only really gonna get to shoot one thing, might as well. 60. Yeah.
Affirmative. Keep an eye on my heat, Commander.
Oh, welcome to Whose Line Is It Anyway, where pilot injuries are made up and
Armor blow through.
to hit chances don't matter. Okay, now
That shot got through my armor.
we're starting to have a lot of problems. By a lot, I mean a not insignificant quantity. Seeing, so all those orange numbers are the internal structure hits, which have a chance to cause crits.
I'm receiving you.
No, I need to use you before you die horribly, horribly. I don't think he's gonna last long enough for heat to matter. So,
10-4.
kamikaze! Yes!
Reporting. Critical hit. Keep an eye on my heat, Commander.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, there we go. Yep, so now he just has the small laser or his melee, which is kinda huge for us. You know what? Ooh, I will happily lob missiles at you.
Roger.
Because missiles cause some of the most stability damage. So I think what he did here in really quick shorthand was he activated the light mech, and then it would have been his turn again because he's the only guy with mechs in that initiative phase. He reserved the rest. He just kind of did it at once. All right. What are our options here? Because I think if we we can still melee. Which, if we do from here, also gives me cover. Let's try to go punch some face. Ugh! Alright, that worked out pretty well. Destroyed half his weapons. Oh, he's gonna hit me in the butt. Oh yeah, we're definitely losing. Even though I had the weight advantage. Well, no guts, no glory. Hey kids, you want to know what it looks like when your mech overheats? Let's see, who can we shoot? Let's pick you for one. You for two. Let's see what we got here. Right. Missiles going after the commando. Ooh. There we go. And we're going to lay fire into that Jenner.
Affirmative.
Enough. Well, good, but not enough.
Reporting overheat. Fucking down.
So, that's what that looks like. And now, he is stuck in place for an entire turn. And is also about to get knocked down his ass. But hey, you know, we're showing mechanics, right?
I'm losing all my
AI's
lives.
kicking my butt. And so, because Wildfire's tactics
I'm
uh,
wounded.
is just average at best, she can see what category of mech they are. But if she had a higher tactics of 9, she could see the weight tonnage. Now here's the other bad part. When you are shut down, pardon me,
Internal damage.
they can make called shots on you. When you are laying down, they can make called shots on you. And I'm not sure if I'm actually harder to hit or not because I'm laying down up there.
Waiting for orders.
Would you like to... Why?
Regained footing.
Oh, thank you.
Good to go.
But it's the only thing I could do that turn. So let's see if Wildfire survives. Because she's pretty trashed. Here's the other thing. If you didn't play old Battletech, you wouldn't know. When you deal more damage than a hit location has left, then the leftover spills inward towards the center torso. So if I destroyed the arm but I had 5 damage left, if there was armor left on the torso, then it would hit the torso armor. If there was just internal structure, it would deal internal structure damage. Hey, I can shoot things again. But here's the thing. I can't back up and shoot indirectly because I need a spotter. How good do things look right now? $95, $85. Oh, what the hell? Let's see. We're gonna try to hit him. Did... Okay, no, you're not it. Yeah, you. Alright. So you go after A, you guys go after B. Heat-wise, we're fine. In every other possible way, this is a terrible day.
Fire in.
Got rid of a lot of his armor, but not enough to chew through all that internal yet. There we go. So, that was your average game of a comp stomp going wrong. After action, you can see how much on the mech was destroyed. So literally every part of this urban mech, aside from his legs and his head. You've got the hunchback here who had the important parts are still around. I imagine this is going to be more important when it comes to campaign play, where you might need to save up money to repair and rearm and refit your mechs between battles, or if you salvage one that you took out in a previous mission, how much it would cost to bring it up to an operational status. And you can also look at the enemy forces and how damaged or destroyed they were, and there were no neutral forces in this game. One fun thing, Battletech terminology, this is a perfect example of getting what we called cored, where the rest of the mech is almost pristine and completely intact, and it was just the center torso that got completely destroyed, which is, the center got cored out of the mech. Um, yeah, fun facts. And then at the end of every game, it'll give us a little survey where we can give feedback, both in numbered metrics as well as comments. And yeah, I'm going to ignore that for now. Because what's my feedback going to be? I suck. And then we go back to the main menu and we can do more stuff like that. So this has been a little preview. I'll stream a bit more of this later on in the weekend, and possibly also, well, definitely also as they start to release the other components. So hope you guys had fun. Thank you for watching.